pseudo-royal court over there in Montecito.
This might be the smallest palace I've ever been in.
An apartment.
But that's exactly what Meghan Markle has done here. It is a disgusting new low.
So I went online to see what was new with Uncle Harry and Auntie Meghan, and I couldn't find a thing. I would have thought she'd have at least popped up in a tampon commercial by now.
My name is Meghan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy Kaling.
I'm so excited because one of my closest friends is coming over to help me cook today. Line?
I would do way less salt than that. Let me just do it, Jen.
Harry and Meghan are their own worst enemies every single time.
Trying to make ourselves into a brand just turned us into products. We don't need to be a brand, do we?
They have no way to do anything else but to flaunt their titles around because they don't have anything else to offer.
What's really going on behind the terracotta walls of Meghan and Harry's Montecito mansion? New leaks are spilling out, and they're painting a picture darker than anything we've heard before. Former staffers, housekeepers, drivers, even wellness gurus are breaking their silence, and their stories are wild enough to make your jaw drop. We thought the first round of exposés had drained every secret from that $14 million estate, but insiders say that was just a teaser. A storm of revelations is brewing, and it's exposing a side of brand Sussex that no Instagram reel can hide.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have created a new cosplay royal court over there in Montecito.
You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, When? We want privacy! We want privacy!
We have to get jobs. I have to start auditioning again.
You were on the very famous show Suits. More popular in the States than even Friends, you told us.
Yeah.
So, buckle up as we dive into the bizarre rules, hidden meltdowns, and a cosplay royal court that's got everyone talking. The whispers started small, but now they're a roar. Ex-employees from every corner of the Montecito mansion, gardeners clipping hedges, chauffeurs idling in the driveway, even yoga consultants fine-tuning mindfulness sessions, are stepping into the spotlight. They're not just venting. They're laying out a mosaic of stories that fit together like a puzzle you can't unsee. These aren't random gripes. Insiders claim their experiences overlap with eerie precision, painting a portrait of a household where morale's hit rock bottom and the couple's polished public image is cracking under the Santa Barbara sun. Forget the curated Netflix glow-ups or those sunlit Instagram posts.
Do you reckon you'd pay $100 million for this?
That's gonna go in all the layers in between.
Oh my God, this girl's exhausting!
Wasn't just here in Australia. Talk TV also waded in with some satire.
From viewers falling behind wrestling and sitcoms on Netflix. Now have a look at the Montecito Martha Stewart herself show us some real craft and skill in the kitchen.
According to these voices, the mansion's become a pressure cooker of eccentric rules and unspoken tensions. Staff say they've hit a breaking point, tired of navigating a maze of protocols that feel more Buckingham Palace than California cool. Think color-coded corridors, fragrance audits, and a vibe that's anything but relaxed. But hold on, this rabbit hole goes deeper. Picture this, you're a staffer clocking in, and your first task is checking a light bulb above the hallway. Not for maintenance, but for permission to walk through. Insiders swear the mansion operates on a color-coded system straight out of a sci-fi flick. Green light, you're clear to move. Amber, stand by, someone's nearby. Crimson, disappear fast, because privacy, or maybe a mood, takes priority. One ex-security guard claims the nursery wing glowed red so often it felt like a permanent no-go zone.
How was your audition?
The show was cancelled by the time I got there.
Well, we don't need you to work anyway because I'm able to find this.
What happened to your ring?
I gave it to the working people.
We're the working people.
With nannies waiting outside, clutching baby monitors, unsure when the light would shift. Then there's the scent obsession. Rumors suggest Meghan monitors room fragrances like a film director chasing the perfect shot. A former florist says she once sprinted across the estate mid-livestream to swap lavender diffusers for bergamot because the vibe felt too wintry on camera. And eye contact? That's a minefield. Staff allegedly nod casually at Harry but keep their gaze down around Meghan unless she speaks first. All to preserve what one insider called her on-camera mystique. It's like working in a royal court, except it's Montecito, and the rules change daily. But the real kicker? These quirks aren't even the wildest part. The mansion's protocols might sound quirky, but they're a spark for what staff call Montecito meltdowns. These aren't loud blow-ups, they're quiet, seismic moments that leave employees rattled.
Harry himself is over here, not really with anything to do. So their, I guess, reaction to this sort of meandering that they've done for the past 5 years without real purpose except for give me money because I need money is to set up a cosplay royal court.
One ex-assistant recalls Meghan pausing a Zoom call, muting it, and delivering a whispered critique so sharp it left a senior aide blinking back tears in the hallway. By the time the call resumed, that aide was gone, slipping out a side gate with her tote bag. Another insider describes a midnight uniform purge after a televised charity segment. Staff were summoned to the garage, told their polo shirts clashed with the mansion's neutral aesthetic, and ordered to replace them before sunrise, all while scrambling to source oil-lined produce for a last-minute menu tweak. The psychological toll comes from the unpredictability. One day, Harry's in chill mode, barefoot, snagging leftover tacos from the kitchen with a grin, and the vibes loose, with vintage rock humming in the background. The next, Meghan's in what staff whisper is producer mode, where decaf espressos on standby, walkie-talkies go silent, and diffusers switch scents at her nod. A former caterer swears she memorized 3 floral briefs for one lunch because the centerpieces kept pivoting, peonies, then ranunculus, then minimalist greens, depending on whether Instagram, Netflix, or paparazzi shots were the goal. It's a high-stakes dance, and not everyone's keeping up. So, why are these stories spilling out now? Money's at the heart of it, or the lack of it. When Spotify pulled the plug in 2023 and Netflix started trimming budgets, the mansion's accountants turned into detectives. Insiders say weekly green juice deliveries, once a 4-figure splurge with imported matcha flown in on ice, got slashed. A security guard noticed the hybrid SUV fleet, once polished for drone shots, sitting idle while staff took Ubers for off-site errands. One chef overheard finance debating whether saffron could sub for gold leaf garnish. It's half the price but still pops in 4K. These cuts didn't just sting, they emboldened staff. Back when Spotify cash flowed, NDAs felt like iron gates, and breaking them meant facing a legal storm backed by billionaire clout. Now, with investor whispers about burn rate circling, those gates look flimsy. Staff are swapping receipts in encrypted group chats, call sheets, duplicate logs, even blurry photos of those corridor lights shifting from green to crimson. One ex-housekeeper says she joined a Signal thread where timestamps matched her own memories, like a playlist of wellness mantras looping in the halls, doubling as a cue for new demands. The fear's fading, but there's another twist driving this expose wave. Here's where it gets juicy. Meghan and Harry, who famously fled the royal system's stuffy chains, have allegedly built their own version in Montecito. Insiders describe a cosplay royal court with chiefs of staff, press secretaries, and a hierarchy that echoes the Buckingham Palace they left behind. British tabloids love this, smirking about a pseudo-court, while Reddit threads sketch unverified org charts showing Meghan's team mirroring roles she once criticized. One ex-gardener put it bluntly, "It's a throne room without a throne, everything's for show, nothing's for soul." The Daily Mail claims this structure didn't loosen the mansion's rules, it tightened them, fueling staff unrest. Online critics call it hypocrisy, pointing out the couple champions' empowerment while allegedly policing staff attire down to the shade of their polos. A former driver says he saw a colleague vanish from the schedule after wearing a coral shirt that disrupted the neutral palette. The irony's thick, but it's not just tabloids stirring the pot. Montecito's feeling the heat too, the drama spilling beyond the mansion's gates, and the neighbors aren't staying quiet. Montecito's elite, usually as discreet as the vines cloaking their estates, are buzzing. An HOA board member reportedly pushed for a stricter drone ban after a paparazzi quadcopter hovered over what looked like an ex-staffer's exit interview. A yoga teacher renting a guest house across the street posted a cryptic note on a local Facebook group, "Wellness can't mask stress forever." It's vague, but it's fuel for the growing sense that Montecito's hush-hush charm is eroding. Charity partners are feeling it too. A children's literacy nonprofit that once plastered Sussex appearances across its website is said to have paused a holiday reading event, worried that staff grievance headlines could overshadow the cause. One insider claims the charity's board asked for a reputational risk memo before committing to future collabs. Even investors are getting cold feet. A West Coast venture group eyeing Meghan's lifestyle brand reportedly demanded culture audit clauses, fearing a lavender-scented scandal could tank their investment. Staffing agencies, the unsung matchmakers of celebrity homes, are now blunt. With recruits, it's an ex-palace playground, but a revolving door. Go in with eyes open. And the couple's response to this chaos? It's a frantic scramble. Inside the mansion, the communications team stuck in what staff jokingly call red alert simmer. Picture Google Docs piling up, context statement V27, clarify rumor flowchart final, but nothing hits send. A single leaked anecdote, like a diffuser dispute, triggers a three-way tug-of-war. Meghan's team drafts an uplifting wellness tweet, Harry's pushes a heartfelt charity spotlight, and lawyers spam, "Is this cease and desist worthy?" No one agrees if it'll douse the hashtags or fan them. Magazine editors, once begging for glossy spreads, are backing off. A Wellness Monthly reportedly scrapped a photo shoot, nervous that showcasing Meghan's meditation nook would spark viewers to cross-reference diffuser brands with staff complaints, turning a feel-good feature into a meme minefield. Even Harry's idea for a surprise visit to a local veterans center got shelved. Crisis strategists fretted an ex-driver's tell-all might drop the same day. One consultant called it PR Jenga, pull one block, and another rumor tumbles out. But the chaos doesn't stop there. There's a quieter drama unfolding behind the scenes. Whispers of a spreadsheet scandal are adding fuel to the fire. Ex-staffers claim that after Spotify's exit and Netflix's budget tweaks, accountants started dissecting every invoice. One aide says green juice wasn't the only casualty. Twice daily cold-pressed refills, a staple for Meghan's on-camera clarity, got cut to once a day. A former event planner booked for a beachfront charity gala was told to swap Kobe beef sliders for organic turkey to mind the budget. Yet the decor still demanded peonies overnight from Holland. The contradiction screamed a household trying to cosplay billionaire vibes on a millionaire's leash. A security guard noticed another red flag. The mansion's fleet of hybrid SUVs, once a drone shot staple, sat unused for days, replaced by rideshares for staff errands. One chef swears he got an email asking if saffron could mimic gold leaf's 4K sparkle for half the cost. These penny-pinching moves didn't just bruise egos. They signaled to staff that the couple's financial armor was thinning, making NDAs less scary. And that's not the only crack in the facade. The mansion's wellness aesthetic, once its crown jewel, is starting to look like a double-edged sword. Insiders say the obsession with aura alignment goes beyond diffusers. One ex-nanny claims she was handed a color-coded mood chart for the kids' playroom, dictating which toys to rotate based on the day's energy. Blue blocks for calm Mondays, yellow for creative Wednesdays. It sounded cute until she realized missing a switch could spark a tense debrief. Another staffer, a groundskeeper, says he was told to trim hedges in a specific pattern to harmonize with the estate's feng shui, only to redo it when a visiting consultant deemed it too angular. These micro-demands, staff argue, aren't just quirky, they're exhausting. A former social media aide recalls curating Instagram posts where every caption had to echo mindfulness or authenticity, yet behind the scenes, she was dodging last-minute calls to rewrite a tweet because the vibe felt off-brand. The disconnect between the public glow and private grind is what's pushing staff to talk. But there's another layer to this saga. The cultural backdrop of Montecito itself is amplifying the drama. This isn't just any wealthy enclave, it's a haven for celebrities who crave privacy but live for optics. Neighbors like Oprah and Ellen have mastered the art of curated seclusion, but Meghan and Harry's mansion feels like it's breaking the unspoken code. One local realtor, speaking anonymously, says the couple's high-profile leaks are making Montecito feel less like a sanctuary and more like a reality show set. A barista at a nearby cafe claims staffers often huddle at the counter, swapping stories about the big house over oat milk lattes. These aren't just rumors, they're a sign the couple's grip on their narrative is slipping. Even the local dog-walking crew, usually tight-lipped, is said to gossip about late-night delivery vans hauling emergency wellness supplies to the estate. It's a small town, and secrets don't stay secret long. But the real question is, how did it get this bad? The answer lies in the couple's pivot to brand Sussex 2.0. After their royal exit, they pitched themselves as rebels against tradition, champions of mental health and modern values. But insiders say their Montecito setup feels like a reboot of the very system they fled. One ex-butler, who claims he worked at Kensington Palace before Montecito, says the mansion's chain of command, complete with chiefs of staff and rigid sign-off chains, feels eerily familiar, just with better weather. The difference? Buckingham had centuries to iron out the kinks. Montecito's court is a startup, and it's showing. Staff describe a culture where every decision, from tea temperatures to hallway scents, must align with the rebrand. One aide says she spent hours tweaking a press release to avoid royal vibes, only for Meghan to insist on elevated language that felt, well, pretty regal. The push-pull between authenticity and aspiration is creating a pressure cooker, and staff are caught in the steam. But there's another angle to consider. The global spotlight hasn't helped. Every leak feeds a hungry cycle of tabloids, ex-posts, and TikTok deep dives, each amplifying the narrative of a couple spiraling. One ex-staffer claims she saw a Reddit thread dissecting a blurry photo of the mansion's corridor lights, with users speculating on their mood code. Another says a TikTok creator stitched a clip of Meghan's wellness speech with a voiceover about lavender tyranny, racking up millions of views. These aren't just memes, they're shaping public perception, and the couple's team is struggling to keep up. A former copywriter says she was tasked with drafting feel-good posts to counter the leaks, but every time one was ready, a new anecdote, like a midnight smoothie crisis, forced a rewrite. The internet's speed is outpacing their spin, and it's turning Montecito into a digital battlefield. But there's one more piece to this puzzle. The staff themselves aren't just whistleblowers. They're a microcosm of Hollywood's gig economy. Many are freelancers, hopping between celebrity households, used to NDAs but not blind loyalty. One ex-driver says he worked for 3 A-listers before Montecito, and none had rules this intense. I drove for a pop star who wanted her car at 68 degrees, but she didn't care about my shirt color. He laughs. The mansion's high churn, some claim turnover rivals a fast food joint, means these workers aren't invested long-term. They're comparing notes in group chats, emboldened by a sense of collective frustration. A former nanny says she joined an invite-only Reddit room where ex-staffers trade timestamps, like the exact moment a wellness playlist cued a new demand. These aren't lone wolves, they're a pack, and their stories are gaining traction because they're consistent. But what does it all mean for brand Sussex? So, here we stand, watching Meghan and Harry's Montecito fairy tale flicker in the California heat. Coated hallways, scent swaps, and abrupt meltdowns paint a world where brand polish trumps morale. Financial strain and a cosplay court add fuel, while neighbors, partners, and investors pull back. Staff, no longer silenced, frame it as self-defense against a mutating rulebook. The mansion's wellness glow, once a beacon, now feels like a pricey filter, and the internet's eating it up. Will this be the scandal that dents brand Sussex for good, or will they spin it into another chapter of their mythology? Hollywood fixers might bet on a rebrand, a glossy charity event, a heartfelt podcast, but the cracks are wide, and more leaks are rumored to be brewing. Are we spectators in their soap opera, or extras in a drama never meant to leak? Only Meghan and Harry can answer, if they ever step out from those curated gates. What do you think? Are these leaks the end of their brand, or just another act in their master drama? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button for more, and subscribe. The next twist is coming, and you won't believe it.